Hello, I'm Jacqueline Dowland, a reporter with the Killeen Daily Herald. Today I'll be sitting down with Vic Dery, Place 3, Cove City Council. What is your professional and/or government history, and how does that experience make you uniquely qualified to be a council member?
So my experience is a professional experience. I actually work for a very large IT organization where our budget's about 48 million a year just within the organization I work at. So from a standpoint, there's a lot of accountability, a lot of business practices that you have to bring in. I would put that back into actually how I would deal with the city. I think showing the transparency and accountability is very important to the citizens.
What are the top 3 issues you have identified in Cove, and how will you address those issues as a council member over the next 3 years?
So I haven't really addressed it as a top three issue. I think one of the most important things is to start listening to the citizens. As I got into the race was one of the reasons is as a citizen wanted my voice heard, and as I talked to different people, that was one of their main concerns is they felt like their voices weren't being heard. The same people were doing the job. They were sort of left out of the conversation how the city should grow.
The City of Cove has had recent issues identifying new streams of revenue and expanding new business in the city. What should the city do to boost tax revenue and court more business?
Yeah, one of the first things I think is we have to be real careful about taxing citizens further. It's as I get the tax bill from my home, I see it going up, and it's one of those things that really makes you concerned. How far can they go with that? It's important that we also look at investing in our small businesses more than bringing in some of them. Some of our small businesses suffer when that happens, and these are people that have been with the city for years and years. I still use the same pharmacist that's been around for years, and I think that that's important to keep your business as local as possible. Does that mean we should stop wanting to quote in big businesses? No, I think it's a very fine line, though, that we should take some of maybe the investment dollars we would go to big business and make sure we can we can help maintain and support small business, which is the core of America, right? So.
A local option election will take place November 8th, during which Cove voters will vote on a proposition legalizing the sale of distilled spirits and mixed beverages in Cove city limits. Do you support the passage of the proposition or oppose it, and why?
So I support it mainly for the tax revenue, whether it's not so much whether it's drinking. I think there's people who drink are driving out of the town to pick up the alcohol. There's never been a slowdown in that process. So by gaining that revenue, by being able to quote in maybe businesses that have some centric around serving, we need to think of it as an opportunity to not burden the taxpayers with extra revenue that we can't produce by not having homes or other streams. So I think it's important to look at it as an economy thing, not whether people are going to be drinking or allowed to drink. Those laws are still on the books that you can't drink in public and you can't do things. So.
Cove is known as a veteran-friendly city mainly due to the city's ongoing relationship with Fort Hood. In light of issues nationally and providing adequate resources and support for veterans, how would you like to see the city improve its relationship with veterans in Cove?
So I am a veteran, and I think it's very important that we continue down looking for how we can assist veterans, especially as we have an aging population of veterans in Coppers Cove. So we want to make sure that we find ways. I don't know if I have all the great answers, but I know we have some great organizations within Coppers Cove, VFW. I know we have a DAV rep. So some of those resources we need to actually go back and help them get their message out to veterans on how they can get to maybe Temple Hospital easier, how they can get some of the services back, and that there is a local DAV rep versus them having to travel away for those.